shows as usual. We streaming live everywhere. Hey, what's the real time? 'Cause I only see you gotta go to 8. All right. I don't know if it's 10. Yeah. All right, 5, 3, 2, 1. Remember, everything's illogical, even my night. Because I don't want to hear nothing else. The wine glass. All right, welcome. I am so sorry for being late, okay? I was flying in from Atlanta. All right, and the only flight we can get out cheap enough, on Frontier, it was $40, but $180 for bags, was at 3 o'clock today, so that's the reason why I'm late. So I literally just hopped off a flight 2 hours ago, okay? And I got this whole show together for y'all. How y'all doing? Happy Monday! Have you enjoyed your weekend? I know a lot has transpired, and I got a lot to discuss with y'all, okay? Not only what has happened and transpired over the weekend, but a lot of what's going on currently in trending news today, okay? Normally, this is our wine at 5, but this is our wine at 7:30, okay? And remember, we're going to be live on TashaKLive.com tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our first exclusive interview with the baby's baby mama, Mimi, okay? She tells her side and her position and all of this here drama that went on between the baby and Danny Lay and her, okay? And so y'all stay tuned for that. And if you want to see that interview, please subscribe to TashaKLive.com, the website, and you can stream it anywhere and watch it, okay? All right, so we have, Sukiana and Sukiana, a new, I guess, up-and-coming artist, Sexy Red. They have completely gone too far, okay? We're definitely going to be discussing that. DJ Vlad, another one dies, okay? Right after they do an interview. Definitely going to be discussing and mourning the little boy that died. Okay. Also, we're going to be talking about this new, what is it called? Silicone BBL, Khloe Kardashian, and this Ozempic, okay? Judge Greg Mathis got some interesting information on that, okay, on him. And also, who else? Luke, is it Luke Skywalker? Luke in the new, which one is it? Uncle Luke? Uncle Luke, okay? Yeah, we're going to be discussing Uncle Luke and his son. His son done got arrested down there on Miami Beach, okay? Apparently walking around with a pocket knife and threatening women. All right, everything that his father probably taught him to do through those music videos. But we got a full show for y'all, okay? Listen, you guys know that we have to take a moment and thank our sponsors and also let you know what's coming up on this show as well as on our website, TashaKLive.com, okay? And so without further ado, you stay right there. We got some sponsors that we need to brag about, which means boldly raise a glass too. Don't ask me what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a smoothie today because I was up all week because of y'all, okay? We'll be right back. Let's go. Winos, but for real, listen close and listen carefully. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar, as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too, okay? So I need my winos to be in good health because we have some good dragging to do. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order. Oh, Mimi, how do you feel about all of the backlash that, your child's father has received as a result of this particular relationship? Because it seems like once him and Danny Lay got together is when shit started to get real for him. Like he was losing endorsements and people are really strong in this whole feminist Me Too movement because they're siding with women, not knowing that women can be the aggressors. And in a lot of instances, we're seeing it go through. We're seeing it probably happen with one of our rising stars, Jonathan Majors. Like, how do you feel about the results that it has impacted, his career in a way where people can't get that image out of his head of him throwing her out?
Anything that ever occurred, it happened because it was initiated by her. I don't feel like, I would still be with him if he didn't have a child by her. Like, I don't put her into nothing in regards to me and him. Like, so to be honest, that's what she falling short to begin with. See, that's what I'm saying. Like the victim role, like you doing. See, that was one thing that she did publicly that let y'all see, like.
Give me an example of something she did privately. And we're back. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So I ain't going to keep y'all holding too long. Remember, moderators, no blocking. All right. Everybody who's grown, just be respectful. Okay. That's really all we're asking. You guys are more than welcome to share your opinions and stuff. Just don't be fighting. Don't be calling people no racist names and stuff, in the chat box. YouTube, because a lot of people do email me. YouTube, Facebook, this is anywhere that wherever you're seeing this live at from, everywhere, right? They do censor comment. They do censor certain words. So if your words, your comments are not coming through, it's not because of the moderators. It's because YouTube, Facebook, or anywhere else is censoring certain words, right? So that's why a lot of the stuff that we do discuss that's quote unquote controversial, that will trigger y'all to comment and use terms that could be deemed offensive, even though we all grown. We don't need to be watched and monitored. That's why we have TashaKLive.com for that deal, okay? This will probably be one of those shows because I have 2 shows and I'm a little behind because I got off a flight. And so I just kind of had to, put this together real fast. But just try to remain, like I said, it's respectful. We don't block. It's not us. It's always social media, okay? They don't want us saying nothing. They just want us laughing. That's it, all right? As you should be. Khloe Kardashian, child on this Ozempic. Got to be, okay? Got to be. Now, I listen. I don't know how you have 2 children. You've always been the biggest in the family. And when I see these pictures coming out, I'm scared. I'm scared. Look at the bones. Like they are taking these weight loss drugs. This ain't diet. Nobody in America can get this skinny, okay, from diet. It's just impossible. The food is manufactured to keep us thick, hungry. It stimulates our hunger hormones. Every time you eat something, you wonder, like, why am I still hungry? They got chemicals in there to keep us hungry. The more we eat, the more they produce, the more money they make. But this one here, this Ozempic, this Wegovy, whatever they got going on. Now, I can't prove she taking it, but she ain't throwing up. She ain't throwing up. Everybody know this woman ain't never been this damn small. You can see every bone, and she ain't even got no muscle mass. Only muscle she got is the lip injection she put in there to hold the muscle, Tristan's muscle. Kept them grippers. Y'all got to pray for this child. This ain't nothing cute about this at all. Nothing cute. Looking like the Skeletor in my science class. I'm done. Get her off the screen. Making me lose, just wanting to throw. Me nauseous and want to throw up just by looking at her. This is interesting, okay? Now, I know y'all with Judge Greg Mathis, and he's your guy, and things like that, and, y'all don't like me dragging him. Oh, well, okay? I'm going to keep dragging him, and here's why. Play the video.
15, Judge Mathis here, as you see. You've been critical of us, our movie, First Lady of BMF. Man, you my guy. Let Tonisha eat. First Lady of BMF. I know Lala's doing a hell of a job. But y'all haven't given y'all haven't fed Toni. First Lady of BMF. Terry's girl for many decades, Southwest T. I'm from Detroit, they're from Detroit. That's how I'm involved. These are Detroiters, man. We cut from the same cloth. I just got out of the street 10 years earlier than you. Respect you, man. I respect your work. Now let us get some money, man. Good luck on all your endeavors. You're doing a hell of a job. Now let us get some of the money with you, particularly Tonisha Wells, the First Lady of BMF. That's why I'm doing it, because she's a home girl and we from the same cloth. Stay strong, brother. Respect you, but stop it. Stop.
Don't it remind you of your daddy or your granddaddy trying to holler at your friends in high school? Don't he give you that? You know, he got the chain on. You know, he trying to be one of the young guys. Now, let me back up a little bit. So he's making a movie based off of the first lady of BMF. Now, apparently there's about 9 of them hoes, okay? Every time you turn around, there's a new one. I don't know who's actually first. Like, we know the first ladies of the United States, but the first ladies of these drug dealers, we don't know. Okay? It's a new one popping up every time. They're finding a way to capitalize, right? And so 50 Cent is like, what are you guys doing? Why are y'all making a movie titled The First Lady of BMF? It's like you're using my marketing and everything that I put into building this show and taking real characters, you know what I'm saying, that was a part of BMF. It's the whole blueprint. And so this has to do with intellectual property. 50 Cent just sent off a fair warning. He did it to Vivica Fox because Vivica Fox is apparently involved in this here production. And Judge Greg Mathis is financing it. He's one of the executive producers because Vivica ain't got no money to produce it, okay? And yeah, it's such a normal, okay? And you know, and such. And so here's my issue. This man done sat on television 30 years. 30 years. Somebody say 30 years. Say 30 years. Called every guest that was toothless, sunken face, okay? Ponytail sitting in the middle of the head, but no hair at all around here. It's just bald. Anybody that came in that remotely looked like they had a hard life, what do you call them? Crackheads, right? You smoke crack, look like it, tasted it, smelt it. I know a crackhead when I see one. Constantly belittled black people who were the subject of the very lady he's promoting right now, acting like a cat daddy from back in Detroit, trying to touch on your high school daughter's friends' asses as they walk by in the living room. You rubbing your legs like this. First lady of BMF, let us get some of the money. You want to shame the very person who was profitable for these drugs? Like you sat in court and shamed the customers. 30 years, you profited off of shaming black folks over a drug that was ingested into our community, and now that you are off the bench, now you want to glorify the drug dealers. I'm telling you, y'all gonna have to pick a side. You gonna have to pick a side. Period. Because I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how he helps our community. He just wants some of the money. You heard? Let us get some of the money too. Tonisha deserves that. Yeah. And he just rubbing the inside of his thigh. Rubbing the balls too because they sitting on his thigh because they so low from the aging and the skin sagging. I said, you cannot make this up. I better not ever see now one of y'all ever trying to check me for dragging him because he ain't no different than any other person. You sit up, you exploit the black community for profit, you talk down on them, never heard you uplifting them. You know what the crack era did to millions of black people. You laughed at them. Talking about, we need reform. Black people got to do better. And then as soon as you get out, you want to glorify the very lady that helped to push crack in our communities. Somebody need to push his ass out of our community. Moving on. Whew, I'm already hot. Plants got to cool me off, child. Now, this is funny. Now, this is Uncle Luke's son. Okay, normally we would have a picture of Uncle Luke up here, but we don't need one. We know Uncle Luke when we see him, okay? We can smell his breath through that gap that he got in his mouth, okay? So Uncle Luke's son, Luther Campbell Jr., was arrested and charged with aggravated assault after allegedly approaching 2 women with a knife. Okay. Now, I got this article from the Jasmine brand. Okay. So according to the Jasmine brand, the son of Miami native Uncle Luke recently had a run-in with the law. This ain't his first nor his last. According to reports, Luther Campbell Jr. was arrested in his hometown this past Tuesday, March 28th, after allegedly aggressively walking towards 2 women with a knife and subsequently attempting to evade police. Reports state that the celebrity's son was on Miami's South Beach when he walked towards 2 women armed, asking, "What did you say? What did you say?" This is all alleged, of course. According to the Jasmine brand. I wasn't there. I didn't see no pocket knife. He looked like he... All I'm going to say. The victims reportedly hid behind a vehicle and eventually identified Luther Campbell Jr., who fled the scene as the assailant. Reportedly, when police caught up to him, Jr. continued to evade, possibly due to already being on probation. Right? Already on probation. Police report that when they finally arrested him, they found the weapon in his pocket. Luther Campbell Jr. was reportedly charged with aggravated assault and deadly weapon and resisting an officer without violence and given a $6,000 bond. However, it's reported that due to the prior charge of him being on probation, Jr. will be required to remain in jail until this coming Tuesday. So he should be out tomorrow after his court date, okay? If he do right. Additionally, he has been banned from confronting or speaking to the alleged aggravated assault victims. Uncle Luke, also Luther Campbell, his daddy, okay, the one with the gap, and we can smell his breath through the gap, okay? As you know, like, you know, my breath stinking, on teeth like this, and I'm trying to talk, or, you know, but that gap, it releases any decay or bacteria you got coming through that, okay? He refuses to go to Colombia and let them seal that thing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Uncle Luke. Okay? Now, Uncle Luke, also named Luther Campbell, addressed the situation, insinuating coverage of his son's arrest. This is get there. I gotta love my people. It's always political. It's political. No, it's federal. It's federal. Okay? This is what he said. He says federal. He said insinuating coverage of his son's arrest is meant to distract from the real issues going on in the city. The record exec posted a series of Instagram videos accusing the Florida officials of exploiting Black children during spring break. This is what he says. As a caption to one of the videos he posted about the matter, Uncle Luke wrote, his daddy, here's what's really going on. Here's what's really going on the place, okay? He wrote this. I did not. I'm just reading. They call South Beach, Miami Beach racism to the fullest by the government of Miami Beach. I don't know what he just said there. I guess maybe he was just trying to say it would have been simple. They're being racist to Black spring breakers. That's all we needed to hear, okay? We didn't need all this. You will not see this on the news. We've been seeing this, sir. The mayor said he don't want no more niggers down there on spring break. But then he got overthrown. We'll talk about it in a second. Everything that he tried to imply, because it's our people, our kids, down there on Miami Beach shooting and such, okay? With knives. Nah. He said, you will not see this on the news. They are a part of the scheme to the picture African Americans as animals. This is what Uncle Luke wrote. He said, to the picture. He said he should have said pitching African Americans as animals. So I'm going to correct what he's trying to write. Along with the mayor, Dan Gilbert, and the entire government of Miami Beach government. He continued and tagged the mayor and the somebody else. I am urging you to put a stop to what's going on in Miami Beach. Stop giving them in-kind services from the county. Make them come with an organized plan of events for African Americans on spring break weekend and Memorial Day weekend. So basically, he feels that the mayor is being racist towards Black spring breakers on Miami Beach because he don't want them down there. I'm with him. Have you been down on South Beach? They look like this. They look just like this in white, dirty T-shirts, carrying either knives or guns, or they on that powder, fentanyl, all of it. Listen, lacing drinks. That's what it looked like down there, and it's only us. They down there shooting in broad daylight. And the mayor came out and said, because they children, they're not, even though they're adults, you know, our kids is 10 years behind. They can be 25, but they really 15. Okay? That they slow, because they on the internet. They ain't studying no more. They slow. By the time they 35, they're gonna be 25 and realize all that. That's when they're gonna grow up. So it is extended. That's why car insurance now, it ain't getting lower till you after 35. Before it used to be 25, now it's 35. They stretching it because our kids are getting dumber because of us, okay? And it ain't nothing but black kids down there on South Beach. The Latinas is at Windward. It's called Windward or whatever, and it ain't on the beach. It's a subgroup of Latinas. They got block parties down there. Yes, the police down there, but they ain't down there shooting each other. But our kids is down there just popping bullets left and right. So the mayor tried to enact a curfew. He said, listen, if y'all gonna come down here, we're gonna put a curfew in place. Not only if we're gonna put a curfew in place, I don't want to sell alcohol at all. But guess what? He got overthrown because there's businesses. It's federal. It's political, okay? It's political. Now, everybody's saying, oh, he being racist because it's just black kids. No, it's our kids killing one another, okay? And he know that same shit went on with Freaknik. Same shit. When we gather, for some reason, we feel disrespected by one another, and instead of just fighting, we want to shoot. That's what we want to take it because it be the liquor. It be the alcohol. For me, it's vodka. Vodka had me just overreacting. I'm taking stuff to 1,000, from 10 to 1,000, making it more than what it is. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to some shit down. I'm ready to mess up a place, a restaurant. That's what these kids is doing down here. Now, the mayor said, I don't want them down here. Y'all need to go somewhere else for spring break. We are tired of people being executed daylight. We don't want no alcohol, and y'all need to be in by 12. And Uncle Luke, okay, with the gap in his mouth, and you can smell the breath and decay, okay, coming from inside of his stomach out as he's speaking this very bullshit that he's talking about while trying to deflect from his son being part of the problem too down there on South Beach that the mayor's trying to get rid of. That's why he locked up right now. This has got to stop. The mayor said, okay, I don't want him down here. I don't want him drinking. You know what the council came back and said? They can stay out as late as they want. There will not be a curfew. They can shoot as late as they want, but they can't drink after 6. And then Ron DeSantis comes, hold up. He said, I got something to say. He says, guns for everybody, including him. You can be a felon. It don't matter where you come from, what your make, mark, history, race, biological, whatever it is, whatever your hierarchy said, you can carry a gun freely in Florida, even on spring break down there. The only thing you can't do is drink after 6 p.m., but you can shoot as much as you want, regardless of your record, regardless of who you mad at. Pop them, kill them, kill their ass. Go ahead, take them out. Just spin on them, spin the block. So look, I'm gonna need you to let these folks do their job. They did it, taking your son off the streets. What is your son? First of all, you are distracting from the real issue, sir. You ought to read, this ain't got nothing to do with racism. This has everything to do, okay, with trying to de-escalate issues when we all get together. There's no cookouts no more, it's shootouts. And he don't want our children down there. Miami Beach is trash right now. I got friends that come all the time. Oh, I'm coming down here. I'm going to go to... Don't take your ass out there on South Beach. You need to go to Hollywood. You need to go to Fort Lauderdale Beach. You need to go to West Palm Beach. Everywhere but Miami Beach. And I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before some real estate moguls come through there and buy all them little restaurants down there. And they going to put condos up. And guess who's going to be down there? Jews and Latinas. and Instagram creators. Wait for it, okay? Trying to get your son and others like him out the street. Okay, moving on. Let's go. Chinese kitty. Botched Chinese kitty. Yeah. You probably don't know her. It's okay. Our husbands do. Listen, she did an interview, which I thought was quite interesting, okay? And I just kind of want to elaborate on what it is that she said. Because, the hoes are talking, the paid ones, She was the one claims that she wasn't in Dubai, even though we got her on video, laying beside 6ix9ine. Apparently, she accepted $40,000 and a Birkin bag to go accompany 6ix9ine in Dubai for some time. She claims it never happened. There's video proof, okay? But this interview that she did is rather interesting. Roll the footage.
You think all men cheat?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
No hesitation.
I do. I feel like at the right moment, if it's given to them, they will take the opportunity.
If they think no one's going to find out.
You guys know a man that don't cheat?
I do.
And
that's why I know at this point most. Because y'all know, remember before I used to be like, oh, man, cheat. Oh, it ain't no way. But I feel like I've learned, somebody told me different. I saw with my own 2 eyes. That there can be a faithful man.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think all men cheat.
So that all went to most for me. But
Given up. But I don't think, I don't think all men cheat. But I think if they have access, a lot of them would.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever cheated?
Because it's the same thing. Like it's the access. Like
Right.
It's like you could be in a relationship with somebody and then it's like this person who has #1 hit record, hot song is like, and I don't just go after just because he hit me up. Like I'm talking about like we'll be just thirsting. Like I want to give y'all, where you at? Let's hop on the jet. Da, 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 da. And then you be like, you're like, I love you, but damn, this man is offering me shit I ain't never did before.
Play the beginning, the first 10 seconds, real quick, when she asked that question one more time.
You think all men cheat?
I do.
wow.
I do.
With her. All men cheat with her. She's the one they cheat with, okay? Yup. The hoes are at it, okay? We're talking about a woman that's never been in a relationship, that has never been publicly claimed by anybody, okay? And it's easy because you got to understand what your reality is what you know, right? Is what you know. And it's very important that it's kind of like, I tell people this all the time. Now, this is an extreme kind of version, but I like to use extreme circumstances in order to describe certain situations like this, right? Because a lot of women will say, yes, they all cheat. And a lot of women say, no, not all men, right? And then, hoes like her, because they're the one, the men are cheating with her, so that's how she knows that they're cheating, because they're in relationships and they're sneaking her off to Dubai and all other countries because they don't want to be seen with her in public. Have you seen her body? I wouldn't either, But here's the thing. It's kind of like, it's hard to understand that if you've never been in a relationship with a faithful man, with someone who's not all about ass, who's not all about getting ass, and who's extremely focused on getting money and building a family. Not every man is out here in these streets chase just that look like you. You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like, how do you see this, or how do you understand this concept? Why is it that she doesn't get it, or why is it that a lot of people don't get it and women don't get it? It's because of this. It's like, let's just take people who inappropriately have relationships with children. And I'm talking about 10 and under, 12 and under, right? And these are adults. If you're not attracted to children, there's no way you can understand how somebody else could be attracted to children. Have you ever been attracted to a child? You ever thought a 10-year-old was... Think about it. You cannot think about it because it's not who you are. It's not your reality. But when you are that sick individual, this will be easily relatable to you. Same situation. All men cheat with you, bitch. Moving on. Let me see what they're talking about in the comments real quick. Oh, Lord Jesus. Damn, these comments is fast. Can you slow them down? Do they want them slow? Oh, it's catching up. It's catching up. Okay. All right. So since she's only 6 years old, you girl, yeah, okay, whatever it was called. Yeah, he's still talking about Sukiana. Oh, yeah. We're going to get to it. Just hold on. Remember, after this show, okay, we have an exclusive interview with the baby's baby mama, the Fade Lady, that's going to be airing tonight on TashaKLive.com. Subscribe via the website to catch that interview. And also, you guys need to subscribe as well because, we got a whole lot of interviews that we conducted over the weekend that you going to want to get, including our second exclusive with Unique, the mistress to Rocky Bivens, okay? Man, he been rocking shit up around here. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't rocking it up with his rock hard dick, he's rocking it up in other ways, Shout out to Rocky. Living up to his name. Purpose. You gotta understand there's meaning behind these words, right? So just stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Let me see what you're talking about in the comments. All right. Talking about no body shaming. What? If it's not your body, we can body shame. If you bought it, it ain't yours. Because as soon as we body shame, they're going to buy another one. Stop. Moving on. You can smell her breath too, because the black stuff, look closely at this picture. So gingivitis and everything lives up here, right? When the gums is black and then the teeth get loose. See, that front tooth is loose because it's decaying. Yeah. Lack of just taking care of yourself, Oral hygiene is important, especially when you talk a lot of shit. Now let's go on and roll this latest video. I'm sick of her coming for my daughter.
I'm not going for it because she mad, shorty. I am God's child, not Chyna. Chyna is a PR stunt. Come on, bitch, we know better. I don't give a fuck. She'll never talk to me in life, child. I raised her, had her, taught her. She know everything. She know everything. This bitch is faking. In Jesus' name, stop her right now. Put her on her back for playing with you, Lord. Take her name out the Lamb's Book of Life. If she playing with you, Lord, in Jesus' name, you're not going to do that.
She said that my daughter, Blac Chyna, Angela White, she's no longer Blac Chyna. She's white. Angela White is faking her rebrand. I said, you know who needs to fake a rebrand? You. Let's start with them teeth first, them lashes, the wig, the breath. This is the one that needs to fake a rebrand for everybody. Could you imagine? This is my child. Angela is my child. I have been the only one, if you are day one, that has been rooting because I saw something in her that she could not see. She ain't like Chinese kitty. She ain't like these Kardashians. She ain't like none of them. And despite her being birthed by the devil's wife himself, she still is out here shining. You can see the glow all over my baby. That's my child. Nobody out here speaking life over Angela but me. Because I knew she was going to use her platform to turn it around because I knew everything that she depicted came from this trash trap right here that taught her. I tell people sometimes, listen, I just had an interview with the Queen Pen, one of the first ladies of BMI. I'm telling you, there's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, okay? And here's what I said. Because a lot of people don't understand this. Trauma is real, and me and her connected. Her name is Brandy Davis. Shout out to Brandy Davis. She was on Trap Queens. She's done a lot of speaking and motivational talks out here for just young women in general not to go down, the same path that we've had. But a lot of times, coming up the way we came up, there's a lot of secrecy that we still hold on to. There's a lot of things that we innately inherit from, especially if we had mothers like this, okay? And I shared something with her that was very personal to me because, listen, Lord knows I love my mother, okay? People say, oh, my God, you are blessed, to have a mom that's still alive. I would give anything for my mother to be here, okay? There's nothing in me that hates my mother. I love her. However, when you grow up, when you're raised by women who were traumatized, who refuse to do anything about that trauma, and then they continuously remind you of the trauma that they put you through, and it triggers you, and you start living out that trauma, drugs, alcohol, insecurities, creating these images of yourself on social media or just in general, just to make people like you because you're trying to like yourself. And so you constantly just recreate. You're going to get your ass done, going to get your titties done, doing all these fillers and all this just bullshit out here just so you can get up and look at yourself and you figure that this is what people need in order to look at you. There's a lot of deep-rooted trauma. And for me, based on the trauma that I experienced, Lord knows I love my mama. I don't get out here, I don't disrespect my mama. You'll never see me talk down on her. She can't tell you one time that I've disrespected her. But let me tell you something. My mama, you think I got a mouth? My mama got a mouth, okay? And when I tell you it's still the same mouth that I grew up with. And a lot of stuff that I went through as a child that shouldn't have happened to me, okay? Had I would have been protected by the family, mom and dad, grandparents, everybody, right? But I believe wholeheartedly I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today had I would have not gone through that, because I could speak on a lot of issues because I've lived through a lot, okay? This is Chyna. This is Angela White. That's why I've always believed in Blac Chyna. I always knew that this really wasn't her. She was only trying to figure out who she was based off of everything that she was shown from this trash here. Okay? Now, this is pure trash. My mom is not trash. What my mom is, she's a trigger for me, right? Everything that I went through and that I spent years of therapy trying to get over, because she's refused to go through therapy to deal with her own trauma, a lot of that trauma she projects onto my sisters and I. My sisters and I are a lot stronger than me, but they starting to break down. I'm going to be honest with you. However, when it comes to me, in order for me to be my best self, I've had to create distance between me and my mother, okay, just so I can function mentally in a healthy space, because I don't want to go back and live through that. I don't want to have to constantly remind myself. Can you imagine how it is being taught for 25, 30 years of your life until I entered therapy at 29 years old, that this is who I am, this is where you come from, you not supposed to be this? That's 30 years of trying to unwind everything that's been indoctrinated into you since conception. You have got to create separation with certain people out of love for yourself first, okay? And them second. Because you just never know. Like, I'm just telling you, it's like people don't talk about this, like the trauma that comes with a lot of these Black mothers who were made mothers too early, or who were traumatized by their mothers based off of the things that they went through, probably of no fault of their own. Okay? But in this situation, to continuously beat your daughter down on social media while she's trying her very best, being as vulnerable as she can, being as humble as she can, and the one person that gave birth to her can't even just say, congratulations, Chyna, Angela White, baby girl. I'm your mother in spirit. Period. Listen, I don't even want to hear it. Can't nobody come for Angela at all. She's off limits. Because I know with everything in me that everything that Angela has been through and everything that this trash has tried to do to her, Angela is going to multiply times 1,000 and continue to leave this bitch broke as she is to this day until the teeth eventually start falling out. And she gotta get y'all to cash app her just so she can have her denture sized and put in. She triggered me. We got some sponsors that we need to brag about, which means boldly raise a glass to after the break, Sukiana. I'm irritated. Let's go. You're a very smooth talker, Derek. And I have my sister-in-law. My brother did 7 years in prison. Okay, listen. I tell him all the time, the guys in prison, don't get on the phone with them because you're not gonna be able to get off. And I feel like y'all get to work on your interpersonal skills, your communication skills, just a little bit better than the average man. And that's what the average man lacks in the real world is communication skills. But because you're in jail so much and all you have is your voice, you gotta put what you can into her verbally so that she believes everything that you say without you physically being there.
I necessarily wouldn't be with this man if I felt like he was not defending me when it came to his family, or if I felt like the love wasn't genuine. Because at the end of the day, we together because we love each other. Like I'm not about to be with somebody who I feel like is not a good fit for me. And also, y'all, the season is running from August. We filmed from August to November. So it's like the person that Derek was back then, he's not the same person now.
Traveling. I'm able to travel. I've been doing good on parole. Me and Monique, this is what we doing. We doing a couple goals. We talking about when I was in prison, about traveling, about doing this, about having fun. That's what we doing.
Monique, would you be opposed to letting him go sow his royal oats and then getting back with him? Listen close and listen carefully. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too, okay? So I need my winos to be in good health because we have some good dragging to do. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order. Right, let's get it. For the moment y'all have been waiting for, real quick. After this particular show, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna make the exclusive interview with the baby's baby mama, Mimi, the fade lady, okay? Mariah, I didn't even know her real name. I was like, dang, nobody don't know your real name on social media. Mariah is finally telling her side to all that drama that went down between the baby and Danny Lay involving her, okay? She addressed all the pregnancy rumors, everything, okay? I gotta tell you, she is a she different. Okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. All right, and so just stay tuned for that. Okay, and remember, Monique and Derek's interview is live as well on TashaKLive.com. Also, what we got coming up? Let me give y'all a few just announcements real quick. What we got coming up? We got the Queen Pen, Brandy Davis. She's talking life after BMF, okay? So we're not rehashing all that stuff that she's done in like 20 different interviews and 20 different television shows. We're talking about grown women shit, okay? Talking about being mothers, life after that, what is she doing, how is she using her platform? Some very, very, very powerful information, okay? And so that'll be coming up. We're also speaking to Carl Thomas's baby mama. We got some vintage wine, but yet current. Carl Thomas baby mama, I gotta tell you, her name is LaToya. And I do want y'all to be on notice. You will be triggered during this particular interview, okay? She has came, of course, to expose him for not being involved in their child's life. This is a story here that I just kind of just left like, and it's like I dragged her. I ain't gonna lie. I had to, because I'm like, if nobody's gonna hold her accountable, or just people, just female women in general. Somebody's got to do it, and I'm tired. Ain't nobody gonna come on my platform no more. And yes, there's a child involved, but some women, you just got to own your own. You gotta own your own shit, okay? And so this was a very, very triggering interview, very real, and so I don't feel sorry for her. I know you guys are probably gonna feel sorry for her. I don't. I told her that. Although I am willing to help, but I just, some people, it's just the decisions that they make. I'm like, there's nothing cute about this at all. Nothing. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be released on TashaKLive.com coming up as well. And then we have part 2 with Unique, okay? She came through with a heavy receipt. That's going to dispel a lot of these lies that Rocky has been telling on social media, okay? It's federal, remember? It's federal. All right, so stay tuned for that. All of that on TashaKLive.com. Please subscribe via the website. Then you can download and stream, like, and comment anywhere. All right, so viewer discretion is advised. Oh, shit. I forgot. We forgot about Vlad. I ain't forgot. Thank you for that photo, because I want people to see this photo. Let me tell you a little story about what happened between me and Vlad. I got some time. Because I want y'all to go straight over to TashaKLive.com tonight, okay? There was an episode that I did on Vlad when I remember, it was the Halloween that I dressed as Lil Boosie. And I spoke about Vlad, and it was kind of like in passing and in conversation. And right after my Cardi B verdict, right, he hit me, even though I had did the video months prior, with a sort of like a verbal cease and desist. You need to remove a video because you defamed me. I said, oh, look at him. You defamed? Okay, how? So during the video in question that I'm speaking about, it had to do with me talking about being in the position that I'm in and doing a lot of these stories on celebrities who necessarily break the law, like R. Kelly. There's been plenty of other stories, okay? And so what happens is when we do these stories as bloggers, as journalists, as personalities, or whatever, a lot of times, a lot of the information that we get is factual, even though we're not there and we're reporting third-party information because we necessarily weren't in the room, but we have enough to substantiate and go forward with the story, okay, based on our findings. A lot of times the feds or state police, they end up contacting us asking for footage, asking for the receipts, evidence, okay, so that they can prove a case, right? Sometimes I've been cooperative, sometimes I haven't. It depends on how bad you've been out here getting up in our community, right? Depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I may tell the lawyers, get me out of it. So I'm not a fed and they not paying me to be a fed or a police officer. I am a personality, period. I'm not a journalist. I'm a personality, okay? This is how I personally feel about said subjects, right? So, and my feelings happen to be a lot strong. So I gave an example and I said, and with all of the men, black men that have been charged after being on his platform, I said, there's probably a possibility, okay, in my opinion, that, he's cooperating with said federal agents, right? I said, of course I can't prove it, but being someone who doesn't interview gang members and Crips, Bloods, and people who have been in the music industry that have been tied to these murders and things like that. But I'm just like, he has a whole damn platform on murders and more murders and beef and just kind of just everything involving a lot of this BS, this nonsense that's going on social media. A rapper just died. BTS Savage after appearing on his platform, right? And so I said, I got a feeling that I feel that he's been contacted by the feds and he's had to give over footage, right? And so this was my opinion. And he came right after, even though he knew I made that video months prior, but right after that verdict came in, he was like, yeah, you defamed me. I said, you know what? I talked to my attorneys. I said, you know what? I'm going to take it down. I'm going to take it down, right? Because he's you. He's you. I know my position. I'm not stupid. He got Jew lawyers. I'm not crazy. So I took it down. So I said, okay, I'm going to do you this one. But in my opinion, I can't prove it, but it's not uncommon. He was like, I ain't never, ever gave no feds no footage. Sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes you make sure them questions are so leading and so very specific, and you ensure that you lead your entire interview based on an incident and not as a whole. So you have to understand, a lot of times when we do interviews, I love to do interviews on people's life, right? What makes them who they are, the decisions that they make. We don't just highlight just their shortcomings. There's a lot to a person, because just because a person doesn't act, that's not who they are, right? We all have found ourselves in situations and we've made bad decisions, but that's not who we are. There's a lot that makes us who we are. But a lot of times in his content, he sits these rappers down, like BTS Savage, who is unfortunately not here with us, okay? His mother is having to bury him, right? My condolences to her. But you would think with a man probably in his 50s or more would understand that when you do interviews, you have to understand, you got to take into consideration context. You don't just sit someone down like you did with BTS Savage, right? And you only ask about an incident and you stay on that incident. Like, hey, what happened in February? This is true. During your robbery, you were robbed, right? This is how he asks questions. You were robbed, right? Yeah, I was robbed. So you were robbed by some people that pretended to want a feature from you? Well, yeah. So what happened? And he's talking as if he has the information, right? So because he already has it. Like, this man is pulling police reports probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has more details before the story starts, so he can make sure that they only specifically speak on that particular incident. Didn't ask this little boy about his upcoming and him being in the military, him being a father. Didn't ask him, like, in context, have you ever murdered somebody before? Is this your first time? Didn't ask him, like, how long have you ever wanted to be a rapper? Sat the little boy down because everybody's excited to sit on Vlad because he got 5 million views, right? 5 million followers. They get money. He has a little bag. He waving. You know, paying. Come get this bag. They're using it as clout. Well, this is an interview. Everybody I know sits on Vlad because he either gets them real young and dumb, or he gets them old trying to stay relevant, okay? But you'll never really see nobody current on that damn platform because they know, they understand, okay? First of all, these young ones is dumb, and these old ones, crumbs. Listen. So, he sits the little boy down after he has had to kill somebody in self-defense in February, which means if he kills somebody in self-defense in February that tried to rob him, his family just buried that person, right? We cannot feel sorry for him. Oh, he tried to rob him. You get what you came for, right? However, you have to take into consideration there's family that is watching this interview that is being triggered and having to relive these events because you want views. You want profit. This is what you feel your viewers want, okay? And as a white man, that's a Jew, right? And has backing from the Jews that run the media, like this is it. This is what sells. You don't ever see him in Eminem's hood, or any of these white rappers' hoods asking them what turf wars they got going on, what set are they apart. Every now and then he may throw somebody in there that look like him, but he understands, like, listen, it's not fun when white folks are killing white folks, but it's more entertaining when the blacks are killing the blacks, okay? It's a whole show. It's a whole experience, okay? whole experience, and then I have the tribute interview, because a lot of these are tribute in memory of interviews, okay? Now, he sits the little boy down, and he's asking the boy specific questions about him defending himself. And so, of course, he's an up-and-coming rapper. He probably ain't never killed nobody before, and he's sitting on a platform that he feel all the greats have sat on. Everybody's co-signed him. Everybody sits on Vlad, and he answers specific questions just less than a few weeks ago after killing someone's family member. So you know what happens? The family members are triggered because they're having to relive these events because the man is asking, well, what if they try to slide back? Well, if they slide back, they're going to have to get what's coming, you know? And then he makes them describe in grave detail about what happened during the struggle over somebody coming to take a chain, but the man ended up dying because he shot. He put a gun on him, and his 4-year-old son was in the house. Okay? So this was truly self-defense, but you have to understand, family members are not trying to hear self-defense. You killed their family member. So what happens is he reignites a story while people are trying to grieve for views at 50 plus years old. Right? Stay with me here. So now, the family members, they feeling some type of way. You ain't have to kill him. Then you on a platform bragging about it. So then they hit the rapper, and they say, we gonna come get you. So now the rapper has to act as if he's that guy. He has to defend his shit. He's national now, international, because he sat on Vlad. Everybody knows him. They streaming his music. This is what comes with this. This is what they think. And so guess what happens? He posts a picture taunting the other side because he's like, y'all not going to threaten me and think I'm not going to hit you where it hurts. So I'm going to show you where your family member died. He instigated that shit. He instigated that shit virtually because he ain't in the room. According to reports, he is logging in from a computer doing virtual interviews with these rappers. Then he syncs his sound just because he knows that it's a possibility if I'm in the room with these rappers and somebody want to slide on me because I'm instigating turf wars between these rappers because he know they egotistical. He know they will do anything for clout. Let me just log in virtually and ask my questions as if I'm really in the room, but I probably don't even live in the United States of America because we don't see them nowhere. We don't see them. For all we know, this man could be broadcasting from Mars. Mars. You don't see him. You don't see him on no red carpet. You don't see him nowhere. This man is broadcasting virtually. Boosie got a whole damn setup in his house with Vlad on the back because he's being paid to do those interviews to keep shit going. To keep his platform going while he's virtually asking questions and is afraid to meet with these rappers because it's not a coincidence that they're either going to jail or they dying. And you're triggering family members. And I'm like, how is it that you as a white man, someone who's older, who has kids, who claims that they have a black wife and I guess that's your way in. So you understand what black people are going through because you're going in a black woman. So you understand what they're going through and you're instigating turf wars with kids. And now another rapper is dead because a family member felt that they had to defend the honor of their family because they felt like he didn't have to die. You didn't have to taunt me. And meanwhile, the white man virtually report live from somewhere else and got another young, dumb one, immature one trying to get on, and he knows exactly what sells his platform. And how could you? Like, how y'all mad that y'all saying I'm breaking up families by interviewing side hoes and mistresses and stuff like that? No. This is life, okay? Ain't nobody died as a result of my platform. Ain't nobody went to jail. Well, R. Kelly. But listen, no, not gonna win. I don't play those games. You have to understand, it's kind of like minding your business. Why would you want to instigate that? It's like, and then you ask, like, listen to his interviews. We giving him clout. Now listen to him. Watch how he leads the guests. Won't even let him veer off. Won't even ask him. So you grew up in Houston, and what kind of sports you like? So you went in the military for you. There was so much he could have asked this young rapper, but he only asked him about a police report that was still fresh, about a body that haven't even decayed yet, because it just happened in February, about a family who's still grieving, and yet you're walking them through a series of events, having them relive that, and now they've just initiated based off of emotion because you wanted the views and you wanted the in memory of interview because you know that's what's going to ultimately sell your YouTube check and your Patreon. But you won't show your face to them rappers. But you black because you dipping in black pussy. Man. Oh, I'm on it. Oh. And that's in my opinion. Nah. Moving on. Sukiana. Oh, y'all finna get triggered today. Now, although I admire people who are themselves, right? Who, despite what others think, are able to just get out here and be who they are. And I'm talking about character. Because this is truly who Sukiana is, right? It's still very... Here's what I'm gonna say. So let me just give y'all some context to what's going on. So you guys know that J Balvin. Let's back up a little bit. Remember J Balvin, the one who worked with Beyonce, made a song, I believe it was like 2 years ago, called Para, and he had black women on chains walking up like a dog and had their faces dressed up like dogs. And I think Para means female bitch or something like that. Okay. This is a new up-and-coming rapper as well. Her name is Sexy Red, okay? She has it's called stripper rap, in the words of Jermaine Dupri, okay? So we have her down here because we just couldn't fit everybody in these pictures because it's a lot going on here, right? And so he was canceled by his entire country after depicting Afro-Latinas who were darker as female dogs and treated them like female dogs in the video. Had them on chains, had them dressed as dogs, was praising them. It was him and another artist, and he ended up having to take the video down, and he apologized, okay? His entire country said, no, we're not doing this, okay? Snoop Dogg. Bring up Snoop Dogg real quick. Snoop Dogg. Do y'all remember when Snoop Dogg arrived at one of the award shows? He was trying to get into the porn industry, and he had showed up with these women on chains, even though they weren't walking like Sukiana and this new and up and coming artist, Sexy Red. But it was very degrading. So much so, his wife she did leave. Okay, because she just couldn't understand this. Like, you have a daughter, you have a black daughter. Why would you show up with women in chains? And a lot of people were like, well, what about the women? You have to understand, like, some women, we have to think for them. Okay? We have to be that example because some just don't get it. And a lot of times as women, you just never know when women like this are usually choosing, they're coming from traumatic backgrounds. This is what they feel they have to do in order to feel like somebody, like he's Snoop Dogg. So a lot of times they're led to do things that they feel like, yeah, it's for a check. I got to do what I got to do. This ain't that bad. I'm getting on. This is a lot better than what I come from. So they end up taking positions like this because they simply don't know. And so it's up to us, women's, to think for them, to be that voice, to be the one who shows them what women's history is all about. And being that we just left Women's History Month, we ain't even 3 days in March, honoring women, particularly black women. Well, 3 days in April. Everything that we've come through, this is the history. We're trying to erase misogyny, degrading of females. It's women like this who want to remind us that there's always just going to be that bottom. And sometimes we can't go to the bottom with them. We got to stay on top. And we have to be the example. Now, let me just say this. Even though I do admire Sukiana, because I felt like Sukiana was in a lane of her own, and it was a stripper porn lane, right? That's her, right? I'm not judging her based on what she feels like she has to do. But this is getting out of hand. You're allowing NLE Chopper to grab you by a $900 lace front and walk you like a dog on a ground where white folks, because this is South Florida, have all their dogs pissing and shitting, and you just walking through it, and you want to say, it was my idea. Of course it was. Sometimes I said, we got to think for them, because they don't understand their worth. It's going to take a little bit longer, and being that she got so many children, she got to feed, this is how she feels she has to make her money. Because just let's be honest, Sukiana ain't the cutest. The tattoos make her look dirty. The plastic surgery has gone too far, but that's the industry that she's in, and that's okay. But when you try to cross over and you want to be considered mainstream rap, and then you got this up-and-coming rapper who got a song called Pound Town. I think the lyrics are Pound Town, thuggin' in my round, out of town, my pussy pink, my booty hole brown, lick my toes. This is who she's on the ground with. Now this is a child. Sukiana damn near 30 now. This is the Pound Town, her booty hole brown. Right? This is a new song that has gone viral amongst the children. And NLE Chopper comes out and says, after he just swore his love to Megan Good, who just got out of a very intense Christian relationship that he wanted with her, and now 2 weeks later, he is shown walking black women on the ground, and you know what he says? They wanted it. It wasn't me, they wanted it. So you're the man. You're the king. You're the king. This is clearly misogyny, and you just want to shoot and say, you know what, this ain't got nothing to do with me. That I only did what they told me to do. But sir, you're the king. I guarantee you, had you would have told them black women to stand up, they would have stood up. Just like when they said get on the ground, you said okay. They got on the ground. That's why I said we got to think for them. We just left Women's History Month. We have come so far. We have come up. These bitches are still on the ground. And Suki, here's what I'm going to say to Suki. You know, me and you have had conversations, right? And you know how I feel about things like this. And I'm utterly disgusted at just the things that you will portray for some cash. Like, if you want to be a stripper rapper, right? But what you depict, you have to understand, like, what you depict, the images that you sell. Listen, you have children, and I guarantee you have to ask yourself, as a mother, I believe she has 3 or 4 children, if I'm not mistaken. Ain't no telling how many baby motherfucking fathers. But here's the thing. You have to understand, would you want your daughter being walked like a dog by a man? Would you want your daughter? Like, what is this? Because a lot of times, even in my sister-in-law's case, right? They don't even allow their children to see this. So they don't really know who their mother really is. And then when they grow up and they start depicting the same thing, the parents want to sit there and act like, oh my God, I cannot believe this, but I had to do that for this. Well, Mom, listen, you planted the seed. And I'm just going to have to say, this is utterly disgusting. This is degrading. And Suki, listen, I just thought that you wouldn't have to go this low. Like, you've spent, like, for you to come from OnlyFans and you're not on OnlyFans, and this is what you want to depict. And a lot of times we can just say this. We can easily just do this. We can easily say, as women as a whole, this ain't got nothing to do with us. But this got a lot to do with our children who are watching these hoes. Because if they can walk you like a dog, they gonna beat your ass like a dog. That's, let me sit down. Let me set my ass down. And so, Suki, listen, y'all can say it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Y'all can say that. Y'all can say that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to see what the record sales are gonna be for this. I'm gonna watch the streams for this song. I'm gonna see how well it does. It's kind of like, I remember working in the restaurant industry, and I'm gonna tell this quick story before we head on over to TashaKLive.com, right? I would make as a server anywhere from like $100 to $300 a shift, right? Sometimes $600 a shift if I work a double, right? And the strippers would come in late night after working, and I'd be like, how much you make? $150. I had to pay the house this. And I'm like, what? And it's like, and you can't fault them because they don't know. But then because you know I'm just that way. I'm always in people's business. Jasmine hated, everybody hated, because I be in your business. I be like, oh, you smoking? Do you know what this gonna do to you? I do this. So I'm like, so you know how much I made today? And I have to pull it out and show them. And they're like, you made that? Yeah, I made you work 3 shifts, right? You work breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the strip club. You're walking with 150, your legs hurt, your feet hurt. Sometimes you've had to do favors. You done been touched on, harassed. All of this, and all I do is walk up to a table. Hi, my name is Tasha. How are you doing today? Focus on the children. Hello. If there's a man with a woman and I feel she's insecure, I focus on her. I don't focus on the man. What do you want? You seem a little stressed today. You okay? Oh, shut up. Listen, you want some wine? You know, and all of this. And I've made people happy. I've brought families back together. I've given them time to spend alone, especially if they don't get time alone and they got to bring these children out every time they come out to eat. And so I entertain the children. I'm the one that pick up your baby and I walk around the restaurant like this, you know what I'm saying? And I leave them alone to have a martini. I drop knowledge on them. I learn stuff from them. And guess what? They end up, just because I've made their night, they end up tipping me anywhere from $50 to $100. And meanwhile, these girls are dropping ass, getting harassed, having to walk on their knees for a couple dollars, and I'm making what they're making with my clothes on. Do you know how many strippers I converted to servers? Do you? Do you know how many strippers I trained as servers? Matter of fact, my ex-best friend was one. My ex-best friend came from the strip club to Seasons 52. She go back to the strip club. I showed her how to get that money legally. Pay taxes. Girl, you're homeless working at the strip club. What? You having to drive to all these clubs to go dance in the middle of the night, and you got to drink. Meanwhile, you could just pull up around the corner at your local restaurant, smile, offer great customer service, the same customer service you put into the married men and all them things ain't got no business in there. And you're making more money with less headache. So yeah, I'm all in the business. And Sukiana, you're going back. It looks like you're on your way back to OnlyFans. And I'm gonna watch these streams. The streams better be through the roof. Or guess what? You need to go back to OnlyFans, throwing up on for a check. Now head on over to TashaKLive.com. Now I gotta go. The baby interview with Mimi is available right now. Bye.